ladies and gentlemen, the deadlift. Alright? The deadlift I consider to be the king of all lifts. Okay, it recruits more muscle groups, big and small, than any other lift, including the back squat. So I told you guys that I was going to take you through some of these lifts: back squat, front squat, bench press, deadlift. Today just happens to be the deadlift day. Okay, I really like this movement, but it's one of those you definitely have to start out light with first, master the form and technique, and then you can slowly transition, progress to heavier weight. Okay, so I'm going to break down the form and technique for today, so you guys can get started with that, or see if you need to change up anything. Again, always you guys can ask me questions via this YouTube channel, Facebook business page, anything like that if you have any more questions on this topic, okay, or this main movement. So yes, this is a compound movement. It's one that I like a lot, recruits a lot of muscle groups. Man, I hope you guys can hear that. It's really loud. I'm outside, sorry, inside my garage door open. Anyway, so let me go ahead and break down the movement by starting with hand placement, okay, or the different grips rather. You have an overhand grip, that's the one that you typically start out with. Then you can transition to a mixed grip when the weight starts to get heavier. It's too heavy for you to keep holding on to the weight like this while still performing the exercise in a safe way, okay? So there's that, there's the grip. The placement of your feet. Your feet are about shoulder width apart, maybe even closer. Okay, you don't want your arms to be rubbing your knees or your legs while you're coming up with the movement. Okay. Now let me go ahead and break down the most important part of the movement. First, the position of your back will be a nice 45-degree angle. No rounded backs, no overextended backs, anything like that. Okay, nice 45-degree angle back. Knees are slightly bent. Now I'll show you this in just a second, but when you initiate the movement, you're going to be digging from your heels. When you're coming up, when the bar is just above your knees, that's when your knees start to straighten out, okay, or straighten out completely. And then when they're just right at your thigh, that's when your back or your hips start to extend and your back starts to go upright. Okay, this might make more sense when I show you. But now the descent. Opposite way, your hips flex, your back goes back down to a 45-degree angle. Right when the bar gets just above the knees or just below, that's when your knees start to bend and the weight is back down on the ground. There's your full repetition of a deadlift, okay? Let me bring you guys down here. Quick transition, I'm going to show you the movement. Alright, here we are. Alright, so let me show you what I was talking about. Okay, nice 45-degree angle back. No rounded backs, overextended backs. That just looks a little funny, I guess. Anyway, so nice 45-degree angle back. Initiate from the heels. Right when you get about here, so just below the knee, that's when you start to straighten out your knee. When you get right about here mid-thigh, that's when you start to open up your hips. Okay, this is called the extension of the hips. And your back is straight. It's completely upright. Okay? Opposite way for the descent. Your hips flex, back starts bending over. Right when you get just below the knees, that's when your knees need to start bending and you're back down on the ground. Okay? Guys, that's the deadlift. So, king of all lifts, and it's a really great one to throw into your routine. You gain a lot of strength. And actually, I think it helps a lot of other lifts. I was talking to a buddy about that. It really does improve a lot of your other lifts and just overall strength. It's definitely a functional movement. Improves, or it's a movement you do typically on a regular basis. Believe it or not, you do the deadlift when you don't even think about it. Okay. Anyway, you guys have questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Keep them coming. Till next time, guys.